Hello everyone, I'm Ayana, aka Lavender, and welcome to another bookish video where I'm talking about my February reads. So this would be my reviews on all the books I read. And this month I read 4 books, but I'm going to be talking about the first one right now, and that one is from a prompt from the TBR jar, and the prompt is a book I need to read, and that book is A River Enchanted, which was recommended to me by Eden, which I'm going to link her YouTube channel below. So for River Enchanted, I read 464 pages, and I read from February 2nd to February 7th, and that is 5 days to read. Now, before I go into my rating and my review, I'm going to talk about the Goodreads rating and review first. On Goodreads, the average rating is 4.06 stars. The number of ratings is 91,677. The number of reviews is 14,752. There is 7,096 people who are currently reading the book. Now it's time for my review. Once again, the book is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I have 7 components. I have plot, characters, writing, pacing, world/setting, enjoyment, and relationships. So for plot, I gave this book a 4. For characters, I gave a 4. Writing is 4. Pacing is a 4.5. The world and setting is a 4. Enjoyment is a 4.5. And relationships is also a 5. If you see me looking up, I'm looking at all my stats. So that's why you see me like looking up and then looking down. Now, compared to that, my rating is a 4.25. Here is my review. The book has beautiful writing, but the pacing at some parts were too slow. I found myself skipping any passages that dealt with certain characters. Like, I found myself skipping some of those parts. I don't know why I did that, but it's just, I kept skipping it. But I did go back and read them all because I have to get the feel of the story. While I like Sidra, her and Torrance scenes just didn't do it for me. I love the plot. I adore Jack, Adara, and Freda. So because of some characters and the pacing, that's why my rating is a 4.25. Now let's get into the next book. Next up is the second book I read this month of February, and it is The Ghostwriters Club by Cody Wayne Morris, and it's a thriller book. The prompt that made me pick this book was a book that has ghosts in it, and that's why I picked The Ghostwriters Club. I read 233 pages, and I read from February 11th to the 12th. And if you count all the hours, that makes 24 hours, so technically I read the book in one day. Now let's go to the Goodreads rating before we get to my rating and review. Goodreads average rating is 3.81. It has 44 ratings, 18 reviews, and 9 people currently reading the book. Now it's time for my review and rating. Here's my review. The story had me on edge of my seat. The first twist I definitely didn't see coming. Cody knows how to keep people in suspense. I had my suspicions that Julia might be user 124249 who wrote those letters to each of the people in the Ghostwriters Club, because her letter was not about her sin, it was about the sin of her father. Plus, when Logan got his letter, nobody knew that he got a letter, and that was kind of weird. And not even Julia. Overall, I rarely enjoyed thrillers, but this one was one of the best thrillers I ever read. It was a thriller, but I would categorize it more as a mysterious thriller, but it was still good. The letters from user 125249 who gave people in the club gave me Pretty Little Liar flashbacks, and I shivered a lot reading this whole book. I'm so in love with this book. After rereading some parts, Logan did in fact not kill Lexi. It was Julia indirectly. His mom thinks he does because of the car crash, but she was misguided. The fact that Julia said all of them killed Lexi because of a letter expressing the disappointment was unnecessary. Julia was blinded by sadness to think straight. So yes, Julia unintentionally killed Lexi. I loved every single character and plot point. I did have some questions, but most of them were answered. The book was fast-paced and honestly very great for a debut author like Cody himself, and I love the characters. My favorite characters is Claire, Logan, and Jackson. Now, contribute my rating was plot, characters, writing, pacing, setting, then enjoyment, and then the relationships, which were all 5 stars. Even though I didn't like Julia by the end of the book, I still liked her as a character. So that was The Ghostwriters Club by Cody Wayne Morris, and my rating is 5 stars. Next up is the third book that I read this month. The next book I read, which is the third book, wasn't The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen, because I didn't finish it. I only got through the first 5 chapters because I was just in a reading slump. I replaced that book and I read a romance novella that got me out of my reading slump a little bit, that was published on Kindle on January 20th of this year in 2026. The book is called Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren. Here is the blurb. Serendipity works wonders for a woman in her seemingly unattainable crush in a funny and flirty short story by Christina Lauren. When marketing consultant Veronica accidentally crashes the wrong Zoom meeting and brutally critiques their presentation, she's shocked to receive a job offer from the company's intriguing CEO. The professional email exchanges quickly turn flirty, but Veronica's mind keeps drifting to her reserved but gorgeous new neighbor. As Valentine's Day approaches, she'll discover that sometimes the most improbable meet cute. The average rating on Goodreads is 3.92 stars. It has 44,990 ratings and also 5,463 reviews. I read 93 pages, and I read this on February 28th on a plane ride to NYC. And for plot, characters, writing, pacing, world/setting, enjoyment, relationships, etc., I gave it all 5s. Now it's time for my review. The story is even paced, and there is a back and forth through email, and it shows all of the characters' personalities. I love that the mistake of joining a marketing team Zoom instead of a job interview Zoom the main character was originally supposed to do. Given the ending of this meet cute happened what I like to call magically. Like others have said, this book and The Exception to the Rule by the same author are similar, and that's why I liked it so much. And I think everybody should read this because it's very cute. So that was my review of Christina Lauren's novella, Accidentally Yours. And so I gave that 5 stars. Next up is my stats for February. I had 1 book in the 4-star range and 2 books in the 5-star range. My average rating is 4.75 stars for February. I read 3 books, which one of them was a novella. I read a total of 190 pages. 1 book was audio alongside the physical book, which was 14 listening hours. My shortest book was Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren, and my longest book was A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. Finally, 3 books I read in February are A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross, The Ghostwriters Club by Cody Wayne Morris, and Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren. The song of the day is Impossible Shoes by Bryn Catelli. I'm going to leave the music video in the info card and in the description. See you next time for my March Reads review coming in April. I love you all. Have a great week or day wherever you are. I love you guys. Bye!